Hello, welcome everybody. Good afternoon. Yeah, welcome to my guided relaxation event here with you at the virtual village hall. I'm really excited to be here, as always, on a Friday afternoon, because that means we can draw the week to a close and start the weekend the right way. So I am Emma Rose from Reset Hypnotherapy. I'm a clinical solution focused hypnotherapist and psychotherapist. I'm actually in Lincolnshire. I'm based in Spalding in Lincolnshire, and it's really, really, really sunny today, but really windy at the same time. And if you could just drop me a note as to where you are in the country, that would be awesome, and I can see where I'm sort of reaching out to. That would be amazing. So yes, so what I do as a hypnotherapist is I use my training in hypnotherapy and neuroscience and guide others to unlock the power of their brain, take back control from the exhaustion and the stress of anxiety, and build confidence and self-esteem, really and ultimately to discover the best versions of themselves. So it's Friday, let's get to it. If you've never experienced a guided relaxation, you're in for a bit of a treat. All you need to do is sit back in a supported position like I am now, or you can lay down, get as comfortable as you possibly can. You might even want a small blanket to keep you warm if it's chilly like it is here today, even though it's really sunny. And then, you just listen to the sound of my voice and just relax your body into wherever you are. And it doesn't matter if you drift off and you don't hear a single word that I say. It really doesn't matter. I tell you what, it's easy peasy. So, firstly, before we do get into the guided relaxation, I do want to talk a little bit about loneliness. Talk about how it impacts us and what we can do to stay connected with people and just push that loneliness out of our lives if we can. Because on the 9th to the 15th of May this year, Mental Health Awareness Week, the theme this year will be loneliness, and that's why I've chosen really to talk to you about this today. So loneliness is perceived social isolation. So you don't have to be physically alone to feel loneliness. You could be surrounded by hundreds of people at a city train station and still feel lonely. You can be potentially pushed outside of a group that you feel adds value. You might lack that sense of true belonging and connection with others in your day-to-day life. So when we're lonely, we feel that disconnect. We lack that social interaction that we so desperately need to be fulfilled as human beings. So I personally am an introvert, and I can easily spend hours or even days by myself quite comfortably. But I know at some point I'm going to need interaction with other human beings. That positive, fulfilled purpose and interaction is a human given. We need it for survival. And there are 3 principles of positivity that we need to undertake to feel whole as humans. And that's positive action, positive thought, and positive interaction. And I talk about these 3 things with my clients all the time. And it's the positive interaction, which I talk about in my sessions, that really enables people to find that connection, to find that sense of belonging. Okay, so another thing we need to cover. Being alone is something completely different to loneliness. It's okay to be alone. And actually, it's healthy for us to be alone when we need to be. And some people need to be more alone than others. mainly introverts like me. And sometimes people need to be alone at certain times of their life more than at other times of their life. Being alone is okay. But what isn't okay is when we feel a sense of disconnect. I believe that we feel loneliness as an internal cue to alert us that we need that connection. It's almost a signal. Because all emotions add value. They might not always feel comfortable, but they are necessary, at least for survival purposes. Because when we feel hungry, that's a signal to say that we need food. And when we feel thirsty, we need water. And when we feel tired, we need sleep. And when we feel loneliness, we need connection. Loneliness is a survival signal. So it's this signal that tells us we need to do something differently and to seek that connection with others. Because when we're connected, we're stronger. When we're connected, we can collaborate and plan, work together, build and create amazing things. And as a social species, we need that purpose to survive. The biological makeup of our brains has developed to enable us to support each other as well as ourselves. It's literally embedded in our DNA. We need to feel purpose within our tribes. And loneliness has kind of had a bit of a bad rep, for links to depression, shyness, being antisocial, other emotions that hold stigma for maybe being perceived as weak. And often we refer to the criminal or the bad guy as the loner. And because of that current culture around loneliness, when we feel loneliness, we also feel guilt and shame. Like guilt, so why do I feel lonely when I'm surrounded by people and friends and family? And the shame around it, I don't connect with people, maybe I'm not enough, And this is where the problem starts with loneliness. Because if we feel shame around those feelings, remember it's actually a valid emotional signal that we need to change. Instead of creating change and doing things differently, we can easily drop down into this protection, primitive part of our brain. And when we're operating from that primitive, old, egoic, depressive part of our brain, we're operating with the primitive parameters of depression, anxiety, or anger, or a combination of all the three. So when we're operating here, we retreat back even more and disconnect ourselves for fear of rejection and feeling more guilt and shame. We get stuck in this vicious cycle. Loneliness is a bit of a dangerous place to be. I don't like to talk negatively. I'm all about talking about the positives, but there is some stats here that I think really highlight the importance of connection to override loneliness. Because if we're living with pollution, it can increase an early death of 5%. Obesity, 20%. Alcohol, 30%. And loneliness is a staggering 45%. The connection between loneliness and our physical health is huge. So what can we do about it? Okay, it's Friday afternoon, we're all on wind down. How can we make those significant changes that our body and mind are asking us to make when we feel loneliness? We know that we can offset it with connection. So we can seek connection out. And we can do that at our own pace, feel good about it, but most of all, really enjoy it. Helping people and volunteering is an amazing way of connecting, feeling that fulfilled purpose and that role within community, whether that's big or small. And it's always really rewarding too. And that's what's great about this service, the Virtual Village Hall. It's a connection hub. But you don't have to go out and join groups or make new friends. Work on your current relationships. Talk to people who you already know. Explain how you feel. how you want to change. Engage, ask questions. Build that confidence for yourself around social situations where you can, slowly and at your own pace. And building positive relationships with people is great, but if that feels like a bit too much right now, animals are a wonderful way of helping us to feel more connected. When we're feeling connected, we feel a hormone called oxytocin. And animals do exactly that. They create oxytocin. Dogs and cats and, pets are a great way to start. And another way to open you up to the possibility of connection might be to find what or who you feel grateful for. What's good? And focus on why you feel grateful for it or them. Write it down or even tell them. And that's a great thing to do, even when you're not feeling lonely, just to increase that gratitude. So while you ponder on those things of how we can stay connected, how we can build and establish our connections with others, we're going to start the relaxation. And now this is really an opportunity for you to really digest what I've just said, or digest what's been going on in your day, and really take just a few moments for you where you can just do absolutely nothing. You don't even have to concentrate on what I'm saying. Just relax. So let's do this now. So like I said, all you need is that comfortable spot to sit down. But if you sit down, just nod your head just slightly forward. Or lay down. That would be amazing. And have maybe a blanket if you need one. I've got something just on my knees just to keep the chill away. And I'm going to just guide you off into a wonderful place. And you just wriggle around in your spot and just get nice and settled in. And hold a pleasant thought for today. And it might actually be something where you've connected with someone already today. You've probably had a phone call. You've probably been out with friends. You might have been at work. It's just somewhere where you've connected already. And that can be eye contact or even smiling. It doesn't even have to be a conversation. And just hold that pleasant thought from the day. Breathing in some nice deep breaths. Breathing in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing out all of the hot anxiety and stress. And breathing all in the freshest, purest, sparkly air. And every time you breathe in that fresh, pure, sparkly air, it's filling you up completely. And you might have noticed that your breathing is slowing down and getting into a nice pattern. Just settle down there into a nice protective bubble. And notice the weight of your head as it's resting there. Knowing that you're fully supported. You don't have to hold any stress. You don't have to hold any tension in your shoulders or your neck. You can just let your head rest back, feeling nice and relaxed, and just let go. Because now is the time for you to do absolutely nothing. You don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to do anything. Just lie back and relax. And your mind can just drift and dream as you hear all the sounds around you. Might be the rumbling of traffic, the blowing of the wind, or conversations in other rooms. But none of these things need distract or disturb you, as they comfortably remind you that the world is safely still turning. And you can allow yourself a moment to just rest back, relax, and let go. And you can let go of any tension around your stomach or across your shoulders, and ease back those muscles in your legs, down your spine, all the way through to your ankles, your toes and your feet, every finger in your arms, just loosening, just relaxing, letting go, feeling perfectly at ease, drifting and dreaming with your thoughts as you pay attention to your breathing, that gentle rise, that gentle fall that happens all by itself. And with every breath that you take, and with every word that I speak, you can just let go. Listening to these moments and enjoying them for yourself. Let your mind drift and dream, and just imagine something now. You're standing at the top of 10 steps, beautiful stairs in an old stately home, somewhere you've been or somewhere you've seen on a film or on TV, or perhaps it's somewhere new, a place you're creating all for yourself right now. But you know that as you make your way down those stairs, you'll find yourself relaxing more and more. And with every number I count, you can just let go of any stress and tension and just drift down into a wonderfully quiet and calm place. And at the bottom of those steps is a short corridor that leads to a door to a very special place, a room where nobody ever goes but you. And in that room, you can feel just exactly as you'd want to feel here today. Refreshed, relaxed, and perfectly at ease. And to find this place, all you need to do is make your way down the stairs. So as I count down from 10 to 0, you can find yourself relaxing with each number. Drifting down as my voice follows and I count 10. And you just find yourself relaxing more and more, every step down, taking you closer to that room inside, to 9, stepping down gracefully to 8, perfectly at ease as you carry on down to 7. And there is a handrail there, strong and solid, on the wall alongside you, worn smooth by years of use, and you realise you've been down this stairway many, many times, and that this room exists inside you already, ready to be accessed, to gain the strength and the understanding you already possess. And 6, there's a picture on the wall beside you, a picture that inspires you as you watch it forming. And I don't know if it's a picture or perhaps a photograph of someone you love, someone you know, or a painting of a special place that gives you peace or confidence. It might be somewhere special you've been, or it might be a swirling mass of colour that just hasn't quite formed yet, creating a feeling of strength that comes to you deep from within your subconscious. And allowing you to trust in this process, you now take another step down to 5. You're halfway down those steps now, curious as to what you'll find as you continue down from 4 to 3. Almost as if you're walking on a cushion of air, not quite touching the steps anymore, but floating on down from 3 to 2. Every muscle just loosening and relaxing. And you can see that hallway, and you can see the door at the end as you look forward to finding that room, that special place deep inside, a place you know already exists. And you're just finding it for yourself again now, as you step down from 2 to 1. You're almost all the way down those stairs now, just floating down that final step from 1 to 0. And you can relax your shoulders, every muscle, every fibre of your being, feeling perfectly at ease. And you make your way along that corridor that's lined with pictures and people and places that inspire you, that keep you safe, that make you feel comfortable. Reminders of all the success you've already achieved in your life. Certificates, smiling faces, friends, family, and loved ones. And as you walk along that corridor, you walk past a grandfather clock, an old antique grandfather clock, and you can hear it ticking, marking the gentle pass of time. And as you stop and look at the hands on the face, you suddenly realise that the sound of the tick is just the sound of a moment passing, and that the space in between the ticks is where we truly exist. The space in between the ticks is the very moment in which all is real. And you can choose to place your mind in that space now, as you watch the hands slowly moving around the face, realizing that although they have been around so many times, every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, for weeks, months, years, decades, and centuries, those hands can only tell you at the very moment in which you truly exist. Now, because the past has gone. And gone with it is any opportunity to change what's happened. And yet you understand that the wonderful truth is, we don't have to change the past. You have coped with and survived everything from your past. And the future is just a dream that you can colour with bright, clear possibility. And you can choose to imagine your future just as you would wish it to be. You can fill it with joy and happiness and all the success that you truly deserve. But it all begins in this very moment where all is real in between the ticks of the clock. And before you move on from the clock in front of you, you see your reflection in the glass window of the cabinet as the pendulum swings back and forth, you notice that something has changed. As you stand reflected in that glass, something has already changed, and you can't quite catch what it is. Perhaps it's that you're standing more confidently, or that there's a smile on your face, or a happiness in your eyes, a joy radiating from you that you can witness in that reflection of yourself now. This inspires you as you turn and move forward, floating down along that corridor to the door of the room where nobody ever goes but you. That room in which you can discover so much about yourself and how you will find that comfort, peace, and understanding that already exists inside you. For in that room, you can imagine and create and rehearse and be the person you seek to be, the person you truly are. And before you open the door, you study it, you catch its every detail. You notice whether it's hinged on the left or the right, its size, its shape, its colour, texture, design. Will it open towards you or away? Will it creak or glide open? Is it light or heavy, old or new? And you see the handle, and before you reach out to open the door, you notice the lock. And I wonder where the key is. Is it in your pocket or around your neck on a length of twine? Or is it already in your hand, an old ornate brass key that's cool to touch but warming as you hold it in your hand? Wherever that key is, you know that this room is never locked to you, and that this room is always accessible to you now. because all you need to do is simply remember that it exists deep inside you right now. Because to open the door, you simply use your mind. Your mind is the key that unlocks the door. As you find yourself stepping through into a room that is exactly as you choose it to be. All around you flows a feeling of safety and comfort, bringing a strength that flows through you and radiates from you, inspiring you to trust in the positive future that you create for yourself. Each day you feel more confident, more capable, and more connected with your inner skills and resources that are waiting here now for you to tap into and enjoy. Once there was a village in a very isolated part of the world, so isolated that they very rarely saw visitors from the outside world, and the people of the village had a secret. They had a magical painting. It had been given to them by a stranger back in the past, and a time before anyone could remember. The stranger had said that as long as the picture stays in the village, everything will go right for the people of the village, and the people felt safe having the picture. One day another stranger came to the village, and the people, being very hospitable, made the stranger welcome, and they let him stay in the room where the painting was kept. But when they got up in the morning, the stranger had left, and the painting had been taken away. The villagers were desolate. They felt their happiness had gone. Life could never be the way that they had pictured it. And they looked out of the window and the blue sky had turned dark. The trees had stopped blooming. The birds no longer sang, and they felt very sad. Then one of the young women of the village walked over to where the painting had been on the wall. And she started to paint her own picture. She started to paint a beautiful painting of trees and birds, and then some others joined her, and soon all of the people of the village were cooperating, making this painting. They all got so absorbed in the painting, and it wasn't until the woman looked out of the window and she said, "Look, everything's changing," and they realised that the sky had become blue again. The birds were singing again, and the trees were back in bloom. As you leave here this afternoon, you'll go forth into the world with new and determined optimism, because you're armed now with new knowledge, new understanding of the person that you are, unique, special, your real self. Confident in your own abilities to be true to those values that really are important, and to recognise what is false and inappropriate. Now you love and respect yourself for the person that you are, and you'll be happy with all that you do have. Yesterday has gone, and gone with it are all of the influences that could make it different. Tomorrow is but a myth that we can colour with imagination. But today, this very moment, all is real. And this moment we live, and then that too is gone, either seized upon and enjoyed, or wasted. You can choose too which reality is yours, and you will you not? So now you can just begin to recognise all the sounds inside of your room and the sounds outside of your room. Begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, and with a feeling of positivity and unique purpose, when you're ready, you can just have a big old stretch, a smile, and open your eyes and enjoy the rest of your day. Or you can just stay exactly where you are, have a little nap. It's completely up to you. So that's wonderful. I hope you all really enjoyed that. I really do enjoy these on a Friday afternoon. It's a perfect Friday afternoon fix. I hope you agree. So yeah, you know where I am if you need me. Let's not keep it too long till I see you again. Have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care and speak to you soon. Bye.